Niger, the river that built Africa. Africa, land of deserts, forests and ancient civilizations. But cutting through this vast land, flows one of the continent's greatest gifts. The Niger River. Majestic. Ancient. Powerful. Stretching more than 4,200 kilometers, it is the third longest river in Africa. It flows through three important countries, Mali, Niger, Nigeria. In Mali alone, the river travels over 1,000 kilometers, dividing the country into two living halves. In Niger, it becomes the backbone of dry Sahel communities. In Nigeria, it expands into a massive delta that feeds millions. In one of the harshest regions on Earth. This river creates life. Not by miracle, but by endurance. River that built empires. Long before colonial borders. Long before European maps. The Niger River built African empires. On its banks rose the legendary Mali Empire. Founded by Sundiata Keita around 1226. An empire famous for gold, salt, agriculture, scholarship and power. At its peak in the 14th century, it stretched from the Atlantic coast deep into the Niger Basin. Three historic cities grew along the river. Gao, Djenné, Timbuktu. Boats carried goods. Camel caravans crossed the Sahara. Gold from the forests. Salt from the desert. Books from scholars. The Niger River became West Africa's main economic artery. A moving civilization. Timbuktu. Golden city of knowledge in the 16th century. Timbuktu reached its golden age. Not only rich in gold, but rich in knowledge. Universities flourished. Thousands of manuscripts were written by African scholars. Law, astronomy, medicine, mathematics, religion. Mud houses were decorated with beautiful designs. Markets overflowed. Caravans arrived daily. Even today, people tell stories. Stories of wealth. Stories of learning. Stories of river life. Timbuktu still attracts visitors, not for luxury, but for its simplicity, architecture, Islamic history, and cultural depth. Standing in the desert, yet built by water. Slavery, colonization, and painful memory. But the Niger River also carries painful memory. For centuries, trade crossed these waters. Gold, salt, ivory, and human beings. The river witnessed slavery. Men, women, and children were captured, transported and sold. Some moved along river routes. Others were forced into long desert marches. Families were broken. Villages emptied. This pain never disappeared. People still remember. Elders still tell the stories. Then came colonization. Foreign powers divided the land. Controlled trade. Controlled resources. Controlled borders. The river that once united African kingdoms was turned into colonial transport routes. Extraction replaced cooperation. Profit replaced people. Yet the river survived. And the people survived. High water season. Moving life. From August to January, the Niger River rises. This is the high water season. And the river becomes alive with movement. Long wooden boats travel between Mali and Niger. Cargo moves. People travel. Markets prepare. On both sides, golden sand dunes stretch endlessly. Villages wake up with the sound of engines and paddles. But when water levels fall, Everything changes. During low water season, boats struggle. Sandbanks appear. Travel becomes dangerous. Some areas become unreachable. Still people move. Because for many communities, the river is the only road. Fishermen. Living with water. For generations, fishermen lived on the banks of the Niger. Their survival depends on the river's generosity. They cast nets. They paddle long distances. They wait. Fish are caught. Then preserved using ancient methods. Smoked on wood fires. Dried in the sun. Stored. Sold in markets, weeks and months later. Firewood becomes an important commodity. Without firewood, fish cannot be preserved. Without preserved fish, families cannot survive dry seasons. Fishing is not only food. It is culture. It is tradition. It is inheritance. Passed from father to son. From mother to daughter. Temporary islands. And moving villages. When the river drops, new islands appear. Fresh soil. Temporary land. People build seasonal villages. They farm. They fish. They live there for months. But everyone knows, the river will return. When water rises again, the islands disappear. Homes vanish. Villages move. This cycle has repeated for centuries. People adapting to water. Not fighting it. Living with it. Farmers, herders and shared life. For generations. Farmers. Herders. Fishermen. Shared this river. Farmers planted rice and vegetables on floodplains. Herders brought cattle to drink. Fishermen fed villages. It was balance. A miracle in the desert. A river flowing through sand creating green life. But now, life is becoming harder. Climate change. And modern struggles. In recent decades, climate change has changed the Niger River. Rainfall patterns are no longer stable. Some years bring severe droughts. Water levels drop. Crops fail. Fish disappear. Other years bring violent floods. Homes are destroyed. Farms are washed away. Villages are displaced. Farmers struggle to plan seasons. Herders struggle to find pasture. Fishermen struggle to find fish. The river that once followed predictable rhythms now behaves unpredictably. Yet people remain. They adapt. They rebuild. Because leaving the river means losing identity. River of memory and future. The Niger River flows through Mali, Niger and Nigeria. But it also flows through African history. It built empires. It witnessed slavery. It survived colonization. It feeds millions. It carries memory. It carries pain. It carries hope. From Timbuktu's libraries, to fishermen smoking fish, to farmers planting in floodplains, the Niger River still lives, still gives, still fights. And as long as this river flows, Africa's story continues.